So my project was within 10 weeks, and it was in social studies. The title of it is the Geographic Regions of Texas. During this course, students were to master 5 student learning outcomes, which were describe the geographic regions of Texas and discuss how the economy of that region has changed as a result of human activity, label the Texas regions in Google Slides, interpret cultural features on a map of Texas using map skills, comparing the north central plains of Texas and the central plains of the US by using a Venn diagram on Google Docs, and developing a Google slide presentation on the geographic regions of Texas. So this just kind of really briefly describes each of the modules. We had 5 modules titled the geographic regions of Texas, Texas regions and climates, the map skills, North Central Plains, and the regions of Texas presentations. And each one, students had an activity to do with it that focused mainly on the integration of technology. Most of it used Google Slides. We did use Google Docs as well as quizzes. In this first module, we actually did a video tour of the geographic regions of Texas. They actually really enjoyed it, especially because a lot of my students have seen other different parts of Texas, whereas my previous school didn't. So the video tour was actually very insightful. And during this video, they were taking notes down on a handout. It did cover climates, the landforms, and during the module 2, they did a Texas state or state of Texas outline and labeled it in Google Slides. We also explored a PowerPoint that kind of reinforced some of the things that we've already learned, but also it gave them some more information that they could include in their presentation. And then I wanted to kind of hit the map skills, especially Texas because it's so large. So in one of the resources that I have with the school, it's called Savvis, and they had a scavenger hunt on there to where, or I will show you here shortly, but or let me just go to it because it'll be easier. So the scavenger hunt here, this is the map that the students saw. It's of Texas. It has the capital of the city, national parks, state parks. And then these are the questions that students used as their scavenger hunt. So they had to locate Austin on the map. But at first they were given this scenario of your cousins from Michigan are coming to visit. What would you want to show them? And so in the midst of this, while I was monitoring students, I was able to kind of hit, yes, the map skills and monitor them, but also they're asking them questions as far as the regions of Texas. So when I hit some groups, I did say, question, I'm like, what region do you think this is in, especially Austin? And it was kind of hard because between Austin and Waco, it was on the border of the coastal and the central plains. But when I noticed that they weren't getting it is when I had to reteach that. And that kind of shows, especially in the informative assessment of the quizzes that I did with students. But this is the scavenger hunt that we used. They really liked it. They shared some of the experiences that they encountered as far as Austin, even San Antonio, and traveling to Mexico. And we kind of talked about some of the climates and landforms that they see in the other places as well. This is the course layout. It just reinforces the activities and assignments that we did. I'm sorry. All of this really just again reinforces everything that we did. Most of the materials I used was YouTube, the Savvis, Easy Bridge, the writing notebook to reflect or record any notes or information, a handout, Google Slides. I used PowerPoint, but they used Google Slides, as well as the Texas map. And just to kind of come to a close and show you the one of my students' final product, it's what's over here. Sorry. So this is one of my students. She got this idea of to integrate the video, the Texas tour video from another student who showed her how to do it. So I used her presentation. This is the map that students created at the beginning of the course, where they had to label and locate and label the regions. They used Google Draw, or they used Google Slides, but they used the Draw tool. And some of them thought it was really cool. They taught me a few things as well, because I didn't know that you can draw and then incorporate it into part of the transition. I may be a little late on that, but that I thought that was really cool, especially for them to teach other students. Each student or each region had a slide, so the mountains and basins. The only thing that this student is missing is the vegetation, but they did get climate and landforms on there. So just going, and a lot of them had questions about, is this in Texas? Is this in Texas? So it was kind of interesting, but also I referred them back to the video tour to kind of rewatch it and see, because some students have had that experience, some students haven't. And then towards the end of our course, we learned, or we were transitioning into the First Natives of Texas, and that the 4 regions were originally called something else based on the cultures of the Native Americans that first came to Texas. So they looked into that. They did some research. It wasn't extensive. But as we continue to go forward in our next course, that we will be kind of building off of this and just shining light on how the regions of Texas has transitioned, and just overall the cultures and different landforms of, if anything, that has changed. Students also compared the Texas regions and the American Indian culture regions. A lot of it was similar. Students were amazed at how the agriculture they grew a lot more than what we see today. Since usually we see our corn and our cotton and our grains and stuff, but they were kind of amazed at some of the other things and questioned a few other things. But I think that is it. Yes, I think that is it.
Well, thank you so much, Nicole. Great job. And
Thank
see,
you.
does anybody have any questions for Nicole or comments?
No, I liked how they did their presentation. They were able to draw. I also didn't know you could do that.
Thank you.
All right. Well, great job. And we'll go ahead. I'm going to turn off the recording and then we'll go on to the next presenter. But great job.
Thank you.